Hello everybody, Hajicho here, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time, well, trial ended. What else was there? Uh, I kind of forgot. Let's load up the file then I can try to remember what happened. Because we ended the trial, the day of the trial, and we're going back to investigate. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, Joe Dark. This is the SL9 incident, and who was involved was Marshall. Essentially everyone who was involved ever since the beginning of this episode. So yeah, Emma, Lana, Angel, Jake, like essentially everyone here, probably besides Mike, was involved with the SL9 incident. Yeah, and we have Joe Dark, who is dead. Yeah, he's a little bit important, and also Neil Marshall is Joe's Marshall brother. Yeah, he's dead. So they're all involved with this, but we still have no idea, like, why is this all connected and whatnot. And we don't know anything about this jar. We got it, but we haven't used that in the trial, so probably on the final day of the trial, after this investigation, we will finally know what it is supposed to be, what it is supposed to do. Probably with that missing piece is gonna be somewhat important because yeah, that's an unstable jar, and we put them mostly back together, but it looks like uh part of the handle is gone, and something red here. That's probably blood, maybe, and I totally backed out on that. My bad. So what is this? What is this gonna say anything? Hey, look. Ugh. They're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Hmm, looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he got stabbed? Stabbed? Not unlikely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. Oh, okay, so this is also probably related to the SL9 incident. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Yeah, most likely. Most definitely likely. Alright. Oh, no, didn't mean to that. Alright, okay, head back. Time to do some story bits. So sorry, Mr. Wright. Sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. But we did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Yeah, I'm just trying to lower the volume in my headphones. Just like it sounds a bit loud in my headphones. Hopefully it's not affecting the actual game audio for you guys. Hold on, let me just check. Okay, not that. Let me see this. How about this? Does this sound alright? Alright, let me just raise it up a little bit, because it sounds fine in my ears. Well, actually, yeah, this looks a bit fine. If anything, I can probably just raise it up in post, maybe? Well, when I do that in the recent episodes I've been posting. I've almost had to raise up to like 4 in Premiere. So let me just check. Does this sound better? Huh. Okay, I think probably right here is probably a bit better. Just like that mid-range of the yellow, top of green. So yeah, I think this is probably best. Yeah, it's not killing my ears as well. Oh, I forgot to say that.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. And he murdered Officer Marshall's brother. He left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On that night, Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you.
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
Oh, so I guess that's kinda... So... Joe wants to pin... If I'm guessing this right, Joe wants to pin the crime, or like, you know, on Lana because his brother got killed for protecting Emma. Is that what I'm getting at here? Is that what's happening here? That Joe is trying to get Lana arrested and you know, guilty because his brother died protecting Emma. I think that's it. I didn't see that one coming. Well, let's talk about that SL9 incident more.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. It was a terrible thunderstorm that day. I needed off with the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. And then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother. I don't know why guy keeps saying, Marshall's brother, Marshall brothers, Just say, you know, it's Neil Marshall, or just say it's Neil, because we got the point now. Like, ever since, you know, the trial, we know that Neil Marshall is Jake Marshall's brother. Don't gotta say, his brother. Just say Neil, okay?
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
Permanent picture? Okay, so what happened after the incident?
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why Lana... why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgewood used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He could have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in testifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not Emma. That permanent picture. What did you see in that instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. Been through so much.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to find crimes with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. What is it like? The actual moment? Or like, what is it? There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor.
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. I tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? Well, Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Yeah, that's something we never found out. So okay, so Lana used to be a detective. So we should definitely talk to her about this. So let's move over to the detention center. See what she has to say about all this, and about this forging of crimes, forging of evidence.
Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I can't keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risk.
Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about the unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have the right to know, Mr. Wright.
Okay, so let's get right down to it. Well, I guess we first gotta talk about today's trial. A lot of revelations were uncovered at today's trial, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana so fazed before. Okay, so let's talk about her life as a detective. Detective Lana Sky.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. It was amazing.
Huh.
They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked.
Wrong person. Keep on. Emma Lana. Okay.
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Emma really idolized her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience in investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. The dark investigation.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I share the same office and the same investigations.
They even have the same office. It just reminds me of the vines. That vine was just like,
they were roommates. we led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. I was like, tried to murder Emma? No, tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us. So, you being the first one at the scene, what's it about?
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall left their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene. Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and the smell of blood.
3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out. Wait, it said Phoenix up there. So I'm guessing she just interrupted.
And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her. After all her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident?
That's right. It's quite a coincidence.
I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his action came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Okay, so why? Why was he convinced? He got the death sentence. So does he think that, that he didn't kill his brother? So Jake didn't. So does that mean that Jake doesn't believe that Joe killed Neil? Does he think that Emma killed Neil? Or something along that? Or was it that, or like I said earlier, that, because Neil protected Emma, and hence Neil died. That's why he wants revenge against Emma and Lana. You know, that's the thing that I'm thinking right now. Like, it could be like any one of those.
Life doesn't end with the closing of the case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Okay, let's try to present some evidence to her. Let's try to see if we can get some more information. It's taboo? She really means it. But she is involved with this, so she can look at this. Not gonna lie, she can look at this. Does she know anything about the stable jar? No, can't say anything about that. Okay. Anything about the rubber glove? No. You know, it is also part of the SL9 incident. Not gonna say anything about this. Okay, that is kind of dumb. Okay. Let's head to the underground parking lot, because something might be there too. Never know. Never know. No one's here today. Not even Miss Star.
Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
But we proved in court today on that day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead, looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Well, I guess, well, I don't think there's anything else here that we can examine that we haven't already seen. Yep, that's the body, yep. Sorry about that. Just like a little sniffy of the nose. Yeah, my happens sometimes. I gotta, you know, like turn my mic away so it, you know, you guys don't hear it as good. You know, like with the XLR, like people say that that's sensitive to like audio, and it is, because like I could turn this away from me, and with my headphones still on, I can still hear it. Okay, so nothing in here. And you know, if the boyfriend was here, in the security office up there, why hasn't the boyfriend, testified or anything like that? But anyways, let's head up to the high prosecutor's office. Probably Edgeworth is there, maybe, maybe not. Also, this hasn't, so before we, continue on with all this stuff, well, let's kind of go over the evidence that we haven't really used in the case yet. So we have the King of Prosecutors trophy. We know that we haven't used that yet. The parking stuff hasn't been used yet. The blue badger panel, which that most likely is gonna be used, because that handprint that is something important. That has to be used in some time. I think the switchblade knife has to be involved. Either that or, well, no, well, probably the SL9 it's probably gonna be brought up, and they're gonna be like, yes, this switchblade knife, it was used in, the SL9 incident, so it has nothing to do with current case, so why not? I mean, we can use the fingerprints and not, and because that's mainly used for, investigating and whatnot. The screwdriver we have not used. Have we used a rubber glove? No, I don't think so. And the unstable jar we haven't used. So yeah, we still got a couple of evidence that we haven't used yet.
Miss Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come back later. Okay, so we really have to go to the chief's office. So here's a police entrance. Just just point the mic kind of directly towards me because it's cutting out a little bit. Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Que será? You never know when life leads you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck ran out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner.
But, Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Mighty prosecutors head west. Prospectors head west. If there was ever a case I needed to know the truth about, it was this one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Alright, let's talk about the Dark's trial. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. Oh! So something else was the murder weapon. What does this mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility has been erased. Because the facts have been concealed with forged evidence. That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind.
Dude. So, yeah, the knife, that... Okay, so this is what killed, Goodman. This is a fake. Well, well, it's part of the whole crime, but it's not really the murder weapon. Okay. So let's talk about Prosecutor Marshall. Well, I guess his brother, I guess. I got the looks. He got the brains. He was the best prosecutors around. I just made a detective when it went down. It was our first case together. And our last.
How old was he? Your brother?
He was 27 at the time. It was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the king of the prosecutors? Oh, yeah, and we saw a flash of photos, I think, with them, but we didn't like get a good look because it just flashed on the screen for a little bit. I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning. By nightfall, there was thunder. I can't believe for 2 years gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. Okay, let's talk about the scars. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? Well, I mean, now he's died, so there's that. But they did something to him too. Commissioner would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough to not be too obvious. They? Okay, so I think out of all the people that we met, in this trial, I think the possible murder of Goodman, I think it might have to be Gant. It might have to be Gant, and I think probably because if since he's the chief, he might be able to have some ties with the prosecutor's office to try to make Angel back up to back to being prosecutor, detective, whatnot. Might be able to give Jake have him be a higher rank. And with Lana out of the way, they can still do their thing and whatnot. But maybe, I have no idea. This is totally blind. Even though I saw the name for them again as the see the pun, and then I did not see anything else regarding about the story and whatnot.
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean, Dame Gant on the sky. Okay, so what's the deal with Gant in the sky? The investigation lead, Dame Gant, second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their cases. After the case ended, Lana transferred. Oh, after the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. See, because he's the chief of police, he has those connections. Since he can, just hey, make Lana into the chief of police. Hey, just blame her for murder. Have Sky, take up her lead chief prosecutor role, and also give Jake, a detective role back. He's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Scott was totally different when she was a detective. Now that you mentioned it, I must have said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina. Her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. On a secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Your joy partner. It's certainly enlightening. There was one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth is my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave it to him, that evidence, and planned everything. Yeah, and also, with Gant being, the chief of police, he's able to say, oh yeah, no, you can't use that evidence, but no, I can give you this evidence, whatnot. Just like, like earlier, just like in the earlier, the first day of the trial, like near the end, they're just like, oh, I can't say that, that's on the hush hush. But if you, can kinda, lead me on to something, I might have to say something. Something along the lines of that. So, like, uh, that's what's getting me for, like, Damon to, give me why, oh, yeah, it's gonna be Damon who's gonna be, who's most likely gonna be the one who did it. And that's the one, it's Damon Gant. Don't believe me? But I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. What? What was that? Too bad I won't be around to work with you. You become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Oh. Okay. Since I'm guessing after today he's gonna be fired. Well, let's head to the chief's criminal affairs, and probably after that go into the chief's office. This place is always pretty empty. Today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Uh, thanks. Wow, you actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did, and the decision about what to do about Miss Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. And Emma, why'd you have to say we were so close to getting in there? Just like, ah.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief office.
Okay. Chief's office. Oh. Oh, I see something that caught my eye. Okay. Um, Why is there a huge organ right in the middle? Whoa, where am I?
The chief's office, silly. At least, that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten.
Yo, well, is that like just like more than like 78 years ago, 9 years ago?
They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I was a genius until they tried teaching me.
I didn't press that.
I never could remember where C was.
Hmm? Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. Wait. That looks awfully familiar. Is it possibly? Maybe. Could be the same thing, but we gotta read that paper. We gotta read it. So, Righto. Have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. My hands full too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on that wall over there? Oh, I know the weapon. Oh, I thought, it was just check this. Just like, oh, it's just, the broken shield. But, oh, there, I didn't even notice. Because I just thought, it's just like, oh, it just puts the K on there, that's it. But no, that's where he's sliding the sword there. Oh. Okay, and that sword must have been used to kill Neil. Okay. And even like the edge of the blade is similar. It's similar to like how it looks on that broken sword on the trophy looks. It's almost similar. Okay, so that is the real weapon. So where is it hidden? And there's the trophy. I just realized that too. There's the trophy. So it must have been taking place here? In this room? And wherever that missing piece is, that has criminating evidence on who did what, whose blood it was. Is there anything different about him compared to just trying to see the real quick photo because I don't want to just pop right back in, but I don't really see a difference on him right now, but whoever's blood is on this jar was in the room because this was taken 2 places ago. That this pod must have been broken 2 years ago. Oh my god, so and why is it I'm seeing a lot of things in this photo, like whoever's that armor knight and that pointy sword there. Why oh man, there's so much stuff here. There's so much stuff here. But anyway, let's continue on. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Yes, we know about this. We've been talking about this since the trial. You don't gotta say, oh yes, this is Marshall's brother. This is Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We know. We said this. We've seen him so many times. We took it together to commemorate our work together. And also, this was 2 years ago. So all the other times was Ron Karma. So the most recent is Edgeworth. So probably after that is Ron Karma. Then before that, that must have been Neil. That must have been Neil. You know, that heck is blurry. Like they had enough details to like, oh wait, it's different enough. Something's not right with this picture. Yes, many things is wrong with this photo. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. The canteen picture is added to the court record. Hold on. I am examining it. I don't like this long pause or whenever it comes to him. Come up. There we go. Oh my god. Really, I can't examine this. I see a lot of things that could be evidence. Just let me examine it, please. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that needs my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's get out together.
Oh, but it's obvious. It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has been over. There's no need to investigate anymore. All the same, we still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Again? Suspicious.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
Seems that case isn't over with yet after all.
What do you mean?
He can't deny our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. What if we talk to Lana? So we had to head back to Wright, over to detention center. Chuck. What if we present this? Dang it. Thought that could be something. Edgeworth might be back. Let's check to see. No. What if we examine this? Yep, so, yep, already went over that, but, okay, nothing here. So, back at the police department, these guys, look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy, he must be a detective. So I cuffed a lot, right? Do you know what he says? Where are you, moron? I'm an undercover agent. Oh. Alright, examine. Blue Badger still here. Let's give him benefit down says that he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing about like crazy since the other day.
Can I take his batteries out? I just can't help but feel he's doing something naughty.
But let's move back to the criminal affairs. Oh, yep, this is important. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, I'm serving everyone's coffee. Oh, been reduced down to a busboy. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. I falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes.
Well, let's talk about Edgeworth's crisis and whatnot. Alright. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Honest Guy is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from all those who didn't like him. But now with this,
Are there really so many people who hate him?
in our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch sometimes again. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. Seems like you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Oh, does he actually know about the last 09 incident? Was he involved? Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. Seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Stark left behind during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl?
Me.
Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. They had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His power of recollection never fails to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Okay, but first, let me just talk about Dark's crimes. Hero Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. Businessman? Well, what made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So, it was an accident.
An accident, yes, but transformed into an animal.
An animal?
He killed the man that witnessed the accident. Uh, I didn't. I'm not pressing anything. That's all the games. Okay. And the dog came upon the scene and was killed as well. He finally turned himself in. Seems he was pretty careless. He was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. Oh, and you can see how you can barely see the weapon. But if it was... Okay, so yeah. So the pocket knife might have been used for previous killings. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure, like, looking at my computer screen is not that good to looking at the actual TV monitor, trying to see the details. Yeah, so the one nearest to the ground, that's Neil. And the one who's planning to do the sapping, that's Joe. At least that's what it looks like to me. Is, there's, yeah, I think that's the case. So the knife uh Joe has is probably the switchblade, and what's probably what actually killed Neil was the actual sword that was in the King of Prosecutors trophy. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It was a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. Okay, so let's present him with some evidence. Well, let's first show the team picture. Okay, so can't show him that. So let's show him this. About this. Hey, is that? It has a tag attached to it, label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, the knife's been locked away in a locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When he showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again.
What is this incriminating evidence? What is this murder weapon? Tell me. This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. Well, your look doesn't seem like it was. You traced it back to the store you bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see that that's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. Yeah, I was waiting for that, just like, wait, what? But it did. Is it really? Is it? Is it really? Was it really him? It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Stabbed in the back, died from a puncture heart and lung. The tip of the knife was found in the wound. Switchblade knife updating the court record. Broken tip was found in the victim's body. Belonged to the murderer, Joe Dark. Hold on, let me... Okay, 27 male, died on February 19th between 7 and 7:30. Single stab wound piercing the heart and lung. Assessment, died from blood loss under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. Huh. Okay, is there anything else? No. Okay, so just a single page. If only you can see that tip, though. You can see the tip of the knife. I want to check it out just to see, like, are you sure it's part of this knife and not, the part of the missing sword that was here? I don't know. Well, there you go. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is this? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief prosecutor's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if it's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
I mean, we have our own detective ID card. We could just use that, And even there's a police department's approval. Simply put, I began. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It's Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oh, dang it.
So, in other words, gumshoes are only chance of getting into that office.
I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
And also, it's been a while since I saved. We haven't saved since we started. Okay, so let's show this. Nope. Okay. This. About that jar. I think I've seen it somewhere. Seen it before somewhere. Somewhere? Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformed detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? You seen it there? Hmm. Is this doing good? That's the ID card report, isn't it? Yes. There's only one number left to investigate. 4:20 p.m. Blaze it. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executed car number. 7. That's 1 7 too many, Detective. And an executive officer. I just might have a hunch. I've been setting up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Miss Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice. I for one ain't buying it, pal.
You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth?
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, the serial killer was on the loose. Alana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence to prove Joe Dark guilty. Okay, nothing with this. I wish the L&R button would just, like, you know, move over to the next page, not gonna lie. This ID card belongs to the victim, Detective Bruce Goodman. You can do just about anything these days with a card and a secret number. Scary. It's only scary because you keep dropping your card, Detective Gumshoe. I forget my secret number unlocked too. I'm scared of myself. But I'm me, after all. What could be wrong with that? I think I'll stay out of this conversation. Hey, that's it. That's the gang of prosecutors award that Miss Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award of diligence myself. Ah, congratulations.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. Blue Badger. This guy almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the blood stain on that Evans lugger with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays.
Would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well.
I have to admit, he's right though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m. About this. Hey, that... Yeah, we already... Yep. Yeah, we already went over this. What else is there to talk about for this? Okay, nothing with the screwdriver. Checklist. Okay, nothing with that. Oh, the rubber glove. No, nothing with the rubber glove. Evans locker. Anything to say? Oh look, it can be opened without fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker.
Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, Detective?
The handprint of the real murderer glove hand. Without any fingerprints. You'll come to arrest me. If they come to arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you? If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgeworth. Okay. Yeah, Okay, so let's head back to the prosecutor's office, maybe?